Preston Corbell is a stuntman and actor. He started his career in the film industry as a teenager. His career has a span of 20 years and over 100 productions. Notably, he's doubled for Kenny Powers in Eastbound and Down and Lucas Scott in One Tree Hill. And Preston is on the line with us here. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Glad to be here, Toby.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Being a stuntman sounds like an exciting job and a fun job. Is it? And also, can it be dangerous at times as well?
Sure, it's fun. I mean, you get to do a lot of cool stuff. I got to work on DC and Marvel, so you get to be a superhero some days. You get to be a teen idol on One Tree Hill and a baseball player and a bit of a guy who wears a mullet on Eastbound and Down. So lots of versatility, which is very fun. But I think with stuntmen, we always try not to get hurt. We always try to focus on, doing the scene and going through the motions. And then, if we get hurt, we don't work the next day. So that's definitely the focal point. But stunts in 20 years has been a blast. My body's beat up. I can barely walk. But hey, I got those memories and I got those great times in life. So yeah, definitely fun, and look on it with fondly, and will enjoy telling the stories for the rest of my life.
How badly can you get hurt then?
So I've ruptured my Achilles. So I have a pig tendon in my Achilles.
Wow.
I have broken ribs, wrists, my collarbone, multiple concussions. I had a really bad back injury towards the late end of my career working on a DC project. Bad wire work and just kind of slammed the ground with my hip, and just kind of like readjusted my spine there, free adjustment, and tore some back muscles that still bother me today. Wow. So pretty much every day I just assess the injuries. I'm on a heating pad at least one part of my body a day, and never got into painkillers, never wanted to do that, just kind of, focus on the pain for the day. And then a lot of times we have to go and do stunts at the same time we get hurt. We got to work through pain. So you can definitely get hurt pretty bad, but yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible, because there aren't many jobs where you can get an injury as a result of your job that stops you from working in that job.
Well, we can't work if we get too injured, so we're definitely trying to avoid injury when we work.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned right at the top about some of the different roles you've worked in, and it is quite versatile, isn't it? So does it necessarily matter if you don't necessarily look like the actor you're doubling for?
Well, I would say, now I'm bald with a beard, but, when I was 20, I was Lucas Scott, or in my 20s, Lucas Scott on One Tree Hill. So, getting down to that 165, looking like a teenager. And then in the same time, I was doing Eastbound and Down, just doing opposite schedules. So one in the summer, one in the winter. And I would gain up to 250 pounds. So I'd be that 165 to 250 within a year. Wow. So I did actually look like the character. You just had to be extremely disciplined in diet and exercise, and then being able to be versatile, because that's how we make money. If we just look like one part for our whole lives, we're only going to get typecasted. We're not going to make very much money. Yeah. So I did look the parts. I just was very, very strict in fitting those parts, and luckily I had that opposite schedule. But massive weight change within a year for sure.
Why did you have to gain the weight? Is there a reason why using some sort of padding wouldn't work?
You could, but when you hire a stuntman, you want someone that can just go in there and do the scenes just like the actor can. Yeah. And we're trying to be low maintenance. We're trying to just get in there and do what we need to do. So, and it's kind of like a method actor. You're really trying to fit that role. And if I'm doing Kenny Powers for a whole season, that's, 10 to 12 episodes. And then One Tree Hill's 20 plus episodes. So I would definitely have to lose the weight. I can't wear paddings to look skinny. So you have to really fit that body type if you want to get, be versatile and get more work.
Now, everybody who's ever tried will know that it's quite hard to lose weight. Is it hard to gain weight, or do you just have to eat? Because I suppose maybe there are health risks that come along with that you still want to avoid.
There are, but I think, in my career, you're going to try to be at a level where you work out and you can gain muscle pretty quick and you can lose weight pretty quick. But you have to be that medium level so that you can go both ways. So I can't just hurry up and eat a whole bunch of junk food and not work out, because I'm going to really struggle to get to 165 after I've been 230. So you want to be healthy, and yeah, you're going to have to gain that weight, but you got to lose the weight quick too, and you got to know exactly. And then you're 230, you got to lose the weight in 3-4 months. So you're like strict diet. You got to know exactly what to do, and you got to be mathematical, and you got to be really on top of it to hurry up and get it. But that's how we make money. If I don't meet that body weight, I don't look like that character, and I don't have a job.
Yeah, it does sound really difficult because you're completely changing your habits, aren't you? You're going from one lifestyle to another. It must be quite difficult.
It's not fun at that point. So
yeah. Now, you've made a new project called 5 Things I Wish I Knew Before I Was a Stuntman. What made you want to do this project?
So this was a cool project. We got to be on a cool movie set, and it's really cool just to watch. But I think, I'm retired now, and I've kind of transitioned into psychology and sports psychology. Yeah. So I wanted to kind of leave my knowledge behind, kind of, this is 5 things you get to do, but it only takes 3-4 minutes of a video, so anyone can watch it. But it's kind of cool because public that watches all these stunts and all these crazy things, what are 5 things that I would like to know that we don't know? And one of them is like being humble, which isn't a crazy stunt thing you would think of. And then being humble because we're out there, doing the action, doing the scenes, and we're not getting all the credit on screen. No one knows who the stuntman is. So we got to kind of leave your heart on that film and sacrifice your body. So there's a lot of things that I wanted to share with everyone and kind of have that little video to connect with the audience, especially after retirement.
Yeah, that's so true about not getting credits, isn't it? Because most people probably don't even think about the stunt people. They're just in their head, they're thinking the character is jumping off the cliff, therefore it must be the same actor.
Yeah. And something I did a character called Bunnyman on Cabin Fever, which is, a lot of people know that character, but I was in a costume. No one knows my face. So it's fun to, do stuff, but we don't get the recognition for sure.
Do you kind of like the anonymity of it? Perhaps being in very well-known scenes, but you're not going to get swamped on the street?
No, I do because I love the art of filming. I love the art of stunts and kind of sacrificing your life and doing everything for the film, because that's really where you leave your stamp, your heart on that film. And it's so just for the project, so for the art and for the audience, and I don't need all that other mess. I just want to give back to the audience and really produce a quality amount of work where my heart was in it.
Yeah. What are the other 4 things that you wish you knew before you started being a stuntman?
1, you're gonna have to watch the video to find out, and 2, I don't really remember all of them, so but no, the video's fun. Being humble was 1, and versatile. We have to be very versatile. Like I said, Katie Powers, Lucas Scott's versatile, but we have to know a lot of things in stunts. We have to be really good at one thing, whether it's martial arts or no fear and you can jump off any building or whatever. And then all the other stuff kind of goes along. And I was able to do multiple kinds of stunts and do multiple kinds of characters on the fly, which made me very versatile and made me get work. So you always have to be on your toes and ready to go when you get that job.
Yes. And I did watch the video, by the way, and it's very nicely done, I think. It's very relaxed atmosphere because it starts in a cafe and it feels like you're talking to the viewer personally.
Yeah, no, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to connect with that, and I just wanted people to kind of get an inside view and me sharing my knowledge afterwards.
Do you do the stunt in a different way depending on who you're doubling for? As in, like, maybe would you jump in a different way if it was a young person compared to an older person, or is it the same all the time?
What I do anyway is you would have to study the actor, maybe projects that they've done, but you also have to study the character. So the actor and the character, and a lot of times we don't get to see the actor portray the character very long before we're in there because we're filming it at the same time. So portray what the character would do, and then maybe, relay your intentions with the actor. A lot of times we can watch the actor do a walkthrough and then go through that. But it's all about studying character and actor. And you would definitely do things differently depending on who it is. So.
Now, when did you first realize that you had a talent for stunt doubling, if such a thing exists?
I started out acting as a teenager and just started out doing little things. And then I got to be on a cool movie called Cabin Fever and got to do a cool character there, and then kind of rolled into One Tree Hill. And I was fortunate enough to live in a small town that was also like a little Hollywood town where everything came to that studio. And I got to do a lot of work around there. And it was cool because there was a lot of projects, and you got to be versatile and what characters you you have to play again with that versatile word I love so evidently, but you get to be, a lot of different stuff. So stunts has fascinated me because I can, in the same week, get set on fire, jump off a building, get hit by a car, and it's in a day's work. So
yeah, that's an exciting life. What made you want to retire then, now that you're doing psychology?
My body. I would say I was kind of forced into retirement, although 20 years is, huge longevity for that career. But my body I got to a point where I was just getting injured after injury after injury. Yeah. And I'm doing sports psychology now, which is great because I can work with professional athletes and I was a professional athlete, so I can get in that mindset, offer knowledge that I have, and offer education that I've learned. So I think it's a great transition for me. And, stunts and film will always be a part of my life some way or another. But I think the sports psychology definitely will help me help others.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing acting just in general instead of being a stunt actor?
I've done some acting. I don't mind doing small acting things. I've never really wanted to do any big acting, being the center of attention or anything. It's just not me. I like stunts and I like the art of it. So.
Of all the stunts you've done, is there perhaps a most dangerous one?
I think I always go back to, getting hit by a car. I've probably done it 50 plus times, but with the car, it's going at a certain speed and you have, your knees here. So when the car gets you, have to roll at that split second. And it's so much timing, so much trust to the driver and the stunt crew and the stunt coordinator, and being able to hit that millisecond of rolling on a car. And if you don't, you break your leg, you could break other things. So it's that timing, and that's that not being an adrenaline junkie as everyone thinks stuntmen are, because we can't be adrenaline in that moment. We have to be very calm and calculating. And then being set on fire is always fun. It's always a process getting suited up, and they put this kind of liquid on you that makes you super cold. Wow. And then by the time you're suited up for an hour and you're just freezing, so you're ready to get set on fire. And the actual being set on fire and stuff, you're never on there for a very long time. You're never on fire for a very long time, but it feels like forever. And that's like the most intense, awesome few seconds or a minute that you have in your life, I think. So I think being set on fire is definitely my favorite.
Is being set on fire quite dangerous, or are you safe in that moment and it's easily extinguishable?
I mean, you're always dealing with danger with stunts, especially fire. But I always say I was fortunate enough to be a part of all these big projects. You have the best stunt coordinator, best crew, best paramedics. If you're going to do stunts, this is the best possible situation to do it in. So I am fully comfortable. I have no fear in that aspect because, if I go down, I get injured, God forbid something even worse happen, I'm comfortable with that. And I'm proud of what I'm doing right there. So no, I don't have any fear in that aspect.
Yeah. And what other tactics are there in terms of doing stunts? Are you just skilled at things that a normal actor isn't? Or sometimes are you just putting yourself in something that just is blatant danger and there's no way of getting out of it, really?
I think you see a lot of things with Marvel and DC. A lot of those people are martial artists. A lot of those people can do cool jumps and flips where I couldn't do, but I could. You get really good at I could jump off a building, not have that fear. And once you're up on that building, you're kind of just focused in the moment. And there's no adrenaline for me. It's just like, let's execute this and not get hurt. But every stuntman pretty much is really good at one thing, and they have their skill set. I was able to do a lot of things, and it's just it depends on the stunt and everything, but it's all fun.
Yeah. Of all the stunts you've done as well, which one would you say you're the most proud of?
I always go back to a limousine scene in a show we did where it was crashed off a bridge. Wow. And it was so cool because back then, early 2000s, it's a lot different with cameras and just technology. So you had that limousine hit the bridge, and we had one shot. So you only got one limousine, you only got one bridge. So there's so many cameras around, and you have to get everything so perfect. So much practice comes down to that whole 10 seconds of crashing, and just the intensity of that moment and how excited everyone is when you get that scene. and then doing underwater stuff, doing underwater stuff in the tanks at the studio where it looks like the lake, and you're trying to hold your breath at the same time as you're trying to execute the scene and you're trying to go through the stunt. So the amount of difficulty was huge, but being in that water with all that chaos going on outside, and it's like dead silent in that water and it's peaceful, and I think that's really where I enjoy stunts.
And in that moment, when you're doing a big stunt like that, are you scared or nervous? Not really out of the fear of messing it up, but more out of the fear of injury or even death?
I think any kind of dangerous stunt, if I'm in that moment, I am by myself with the moment. There's nothing else going on. It could be chaos going on. There's hundreds of people on set. Everyone's around, but it's just me and whatever that stunt is. And I find so much peace in that, and I enjoy it so much in that aspect of it. So I don't have fear in that, because I know I have the best people around me, but I find so much joy in just being in that moment of just me and the stunt.
Well, where are we able to keep up to date with you and of course find the video 5 Things I Wish I Knew Before I Was a Stuntman?
So the video's on YouTube. Everything you can pretty much find. You search Preston Corbell on Google and everything pops up. The one social media I'm on is Instagram. We have a great community there, very engaging, very positive. So if you just want to go to my Instagram, stunt.beast, and you can also look at the link tree in the bio that has some videos and some articles. You can look that up, but check out the Instagram. Everyone's encouraging, everyone's really good on that. And then also cameo.com. Cameo is a place where celebrities do shout outs, and I love to connect with fans there and really just have that connection with everyone. But that's it. That's how you find me.
Excellent. Well, many thanks for joining us today. It's been very interesting to talk to you.
Thank you, sir, and thank your audience for having me.